Good evening and welcome to Getting Creative with Julie's Floral Delights collection. I'll just refresh my computer because it's yay. Okay, just give people a chance to come on. It's only just past. Looking forward to sharing my card with you all tonight after this morning, and just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who has popped it in their basket and bought the new collection. I shall look forward to seeing what you create with it, but thank you very much for your continued support. It's very much appreciated. Thank you, Philippa, that's great. Excellent. Okay, so I'm just, while we're waiting for people to join us, I'm just going to let you know that the people who are stocking the collection, excuse me, is Hazel and Paul from Dragon's Papercraft, Holly from Wow Embossing Powder, Joe and Mark from Let's Create, Paula from The Stamp Hut, Maxine from Maximum Crafts, Kate from the Mulberry Bush, Jamie and Daphne from Craft Mania, Jane and Penny from The Art of Crafts, Ben at Intercraft, Julie and Barry at Craft Bliss, and then in America they are, or they will be, with Simon Says Stamp, and also they are with Jeanette at J Craft in Australia. And tomorrow morning at 10:30 I will be live here again, and I will be showing you my other pile, which is about like this, of inspiration from the design team. So I've got 4 big piles of cards to share with you tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock, Hazel's going to be live, but in her group page, and she's going to be getting creative with the new collection as well. So lots of inspiration coming up. So bear with me, I'm going to flip the camera. And we'll just very quickly have a little look at the collection, and then I'll get on to making the card. So the first part of the collection is my letters and numbers tiles, and this was actually a request from Philippa and some customers as well, to have an alphabet set and numbers that was the same font as some of the sentiments that were in previous collections. And I also forgot to point out this morning that all the sentiments that are in this collection are all using the same font as the letter tiles. So if you mix and match them, these will work beautifully with any of the sentiments that you've got in the set. And they also emboss beautifully as well. So this is on with platinum, and if I can get my card apart, this is with polished silver. They just look absolutely beautiful. And then this one is polished gold as well. So that is the letter tiles. Then next up is the postage stamps, and in here you're getting 4 different size postage stamps, and the smallest one, this little one here, is the perfect size for the letter tiles. So they will fit inside and you can have a lovely postage edge to them. The rectangles, you can die cut them if you want to using the dinky rectangle dies, and the square also fits one of the square dinky dies as well. But you've also got happy birthday, special friend, you've got a very little special delivery, and you've got happy birthday, enjoy your day. So you've got some postage marks. So you've got a sent with love postage mark, and then you've got your happy birthday, enjoy your day. And then you've got these lovely solid stamps as well, which are absolutely brilliant. We've got a heart, a star, a butterfly, and 2 little flowers. They're lovely to put on like a little seal on your envelope, or to use them on the backgrounds of your cards, which you will see in lots of the samples that I shared this morning. Excuse me. And the video I have loaded up onto YouTube now. So if you want to find it easily, you can go over to YouTube channel and it is on there. And also on Pinterest. So if you go to pinterest.com and then / Julie Hickey Designs, you'll also see all the inspiration on there as well. Even what I haven't shown you yet, which is on there. So this is my Just Daisies stamp set. We've got the, I am sorry. We've got daisy facing to the left, a daisy facing to the right. We've got our entwined daisies. We've got our dictionary definition that says daisy. Playfulness, resilience, and true love radiate from this sweet, simple flower like infinite sunshine on a cloudy day. That's a perfect description of a daisy. And we've also got just to say, thinking of you and thank you. And like I say, they are all in the same font as the letter tiles. I think I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. Oh dear. Okay, so this is the Floral Delight set. With this set, we've got the focal point of the flowers. This one works beautifully with my oval stencil as well. And then we've got a couple of other flowers. They're not based around anything, or a little bit bluebellish perhaps. We've got a butterfly and a bumblebee. And if you've had a previous stamp set, one of the ones at the very beginning had a butterfly and a bee in, but they were facing the other way. So if you have got these will be useful anyway because they're facing the other way. And then we've got Sent With Love, Just For You, and Birthday Wishes as well. And I am sorry, I haven't read any comments that are whizzing up, but I will go back and read them all once I've finished the live. But thank you. Oh, we've got all across the world. We've got Canada. We've got Wendy watching from Canada. Wow. I haven't caught if anybody else from Australia is on, but I'm sure they will be. But yes, thank you so much to everybody for joining me. Wonderful. I will read the comments afterwards. I can't read and demo as well. I need somebody here to do that for me. Okay, maybe I need to teach my husband Merv to do it like Brian does for Philippa. Okay, so this is the card that I'm going to make. I'm actually going to do it in Wild Honey because I just thought it'd be nice to see it in a different colourway. I have inked the background, just a little strip down my card, and I've used the watermarks, the little stamps, the special delivery, some of the daisy definition, just to give a little bit of interest. Let me bring it up so you can see it. Just to bring a bit of interest to the side of my card. And then I've stamped my entwined daisies and cut the edge of my card to reflect that. And I just think it works beautifully. And then again with the rectangle postage, I've done the same, masked it off and inked the background. And then I can add my message to the centre as well. So let me bring this, come down a little bit. That's better. Okay, so I have a 6x4 top folded temp fold card, super smooth, a piece of super smooth so I can do my stamping, and I have a piece, oh, I'm not sure it's big enough, oh, just for my postage stamp. I do have another bit of card I could use if I need to. Okay, so to start off with, you did confuse me, Wendy, but then I guess that you must be on holiday. How wonderful. I hope you're having a fabulous time. Okay, so I'm going to start off with my Wild Honey, and I'm going to add a bit of ink to the left-hand side of my card. I'm going to really load my blending tool up. And then I'm just going to come in. I don't need to do all of it. I just need to do a panel down the side. So just blend in, bring that colour all the way down to the bottom. Just so I've got that nice panel of colour that my flowers will sit on top of. Make sure, like to just make sure that the edges are really nicely coloured up. That looks fine to me. I won't pop it away, but I am just going to wipe the my mat so that I don't pick that colour up. I did mean to clean it the other day. I won't clean it now. Okay, so on here I need to add the detail with my postage stamps and whatever else I want to put on it. So I'm going to pop this onto my sticky mat, and I'm going to have it so that I can stamp on and off the edge of my card as well. I'm not actually going to use the stamping press, but I'm going to use a block to do my stamping, but I like it in here because it's got the softness of the sticky mat, so you get a nice impression. So I'm going to be using the postage stamp set, and we'll start off with the Scent with Love, and I'm just going to use my Wild Honey ink pad. Whoops, my block stuck to it. So I'm just going to make sure that this is nicely inked up, and I'm going to randomly stamp onto my card. Now it's going to be subtle, but you will, I'll bring it up and show you in a second. You will be able to see it, but it's not going to be in your face like if I stamp this with black. You could change and do this in a deeper orange colour if you wanted to, so that you could make sure you saw a bit more of it. But I'm perfectly happy. Let me just bring this up so you can see. But it's making an impression. It is there, but it's nice and subtle, which is what I want. So pop that back in. Just wipe my stamp. Pop that back. I am going to use the Daisy definition as well, which is in this one. Well loved. Oops, sorry. Well loved already. So pop that down. It might be better if I have my ink pad on a firmer surface. So I'm just going to ink my stamp up, make sure it's nicely inked, and then I can come in, and I don't mind if I get parts of this over the postage marks. It doesn't matter. I don't mind if I get part of the definition, not all of it. Really trying to alter where we see the wording. So that's the Daisy definition. Happy with that. Pop that away. And then I'm going to come back to my postage set. I think I'm going to have the little envelope, as I really want to share, pop in the solid stamps, using them as the seal. So I don't mind if I don't get whole envelopes. That's absolutely fine. You just want little elements that you're going to see dotted about down that panel. And then we'll have, let's have a flower. When I use the little ones, I tend to put two on, so that I can ink one of them, keep the other one well away from the ink pad, but then I can use that to balance my stamp so that it doesn't rock and get all smudgy when you stamp it. But you must remember not to put the second stamp anywhere near your ink pad. But it does help to get a much nicer impression with the little stamp. And I'm also going to dot some daisies just around. Again, I'm only making sure that the daisy that I'm using is going in the ink pad, keeping the other one well away from it. Okay, so I'll pop those back in. I think I am quite happy with my background. I'll just let my computer catch up, but we've got a nice bit of detail down the side of my card now. Oh, okay, hang on, what's that say? I'm watching you at a funny angle. What have I missed? Because there's a spot. Oh. I thought maybe I'd got the camera pointing a bit funny. Okay, I can understand that. Okay, so next up, so we've done the background of our card. The next thing we need to do is we'll do our entwined daisies. So again, I'm going to put my piece of card in my press. I'm going to pull out the entwined daisies stamp, and I like to make sure that I've got one that is going to be like my focal point, so that I know I'm going to get some like complete. So I'm going to get a complete impression to start with. So let's stamp that with my, ink it up with my VersaFine. I'm just using that for my black outline. And then I can either, I'm going to clean my stamp this time. So you could move this up or move your piece of paper down and just re-ink it. But I want it so that my stems are just going behind. So starting where the leaves start on my stamp, they will be behind my petal. And the easiest way to do that is I've got a piece of tape and I cut a bit of an angle because that petal isn't straight, and I place this down over my petal, just cut along there. So I'm covering that part of the stamp up. So now when I ink my stamp, I know I don't need to ink down past the leaves, but if I do come down at all and I've got ink on my stamp that goes on the flower, it's going to be behind. Because when I take this off, it's there at the moment, but when I take my piece of tape away, the flower is behind it. So it's an easy way to fit my flowers in, but make sure that the stems are behind. So you're just masking really. And then with this one, going to make sure, I might need to move this up a little bit. Let's just wipe that off. Move that up a bit so I can get my stamp in. And this time I'm just going to make sure that my petal starts at the bottom of the stems. Pick that up. And then just pop that down. So now I've got my flowers look like they're going behind the stems, which is absolutely fine. Okay, so put my my entwined daisies back, and now we can work on our daisies, and then we'll do our sentiment. So I would colour this first, because that's what I would do. I'm just looking because I want to get a piece of kitchen roll and just make sure that none of the ink is still wet, so it will pick up any, if there's any wet ink, which there isn't anyway, but I do like to make sure. Now you could colour with wild honey if you wanted to, but I'm going to use my clean colour and I'm going to colour with these. So I tend to start excuse me, always with the leaves and my stems. So I'm just using clean colour. These are a water-based pen, so I can come over the top with my water brush in a second and just add the detail that I want, because I want some different tones. So I'm just making sure that the water is coming out of my water brush, and then I can drag this colour out from the pens. If it dries too much and you need to go back in and add a bit more, you can do that afterwards. So it's a bit like if I'm painting with the, oh, I picked up the wrong green. It's a bit like if I'm painting with my distressed oxides, which you could use those to colour in just as easily. Oh, you don't need to have markers. You could just use mowed lawn and wild honey and colour your flowers in. Then you know it's the same colour that you've got, that you've used for your panel. And maybe I'll use the green from the pen, but we'll use wild honey. Let's do that. Okay, so if I want to come back in and make sure I've got enough green, just make that a little bit stronger, I can. If I'm worried that I want that to blend a bit more, just come back in with the water brush. This is the bit that I really enjoy. I love the colouring. So you can obviously take your time and have some fun, and yeah, enjoy the process, definitely. Okay, so we'll use some wild honey. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of that out on my mat. Make sure I've got the green off of my brush, and I'm going to pick up some of the colour, and we'll just colour in the centres to start with. This way I can gauge how deep the colour is, how much I might need to put on. So then I'm going to come back in and add a layer around the detailed lines on the petals. And so I like to build this up. So I would put a bit of colour down first of all on each of the flowers. It's very wet. And then I can come back in and add a bit more detail to it. And the reason I would colour and then cut out is because if I don't like how I've coloured it, I don't want to have, I won't say wasted the time cutting it out, but I don't want to have cut it out. If I don't like how I colour it, I can always stamp it again and colour it again. So I would always do the cutting out once I've coloured. And I'm really sorry because I haven't been looking at the questions, but I can see that somebody's, Sarah, thank you for answering. I know that Philippa was watching. I'm pretty certain Tracy was watching. So I'm sure if there are any questions that they'll be answering them if we need anything. Oh, I've got a bit of green there that I forgot. Let's get the right green. There's a little tiny bit of stem there. Okay, so now I'm going to come back in and pick a bit more of the colour up and just work that in around the, I want to say bud, and it's not a bud, is it? The middle of the flower, the centre. Just so I've got a little bit deeper colour. If you want to, you can make sure there's some colour on all the petal. So I haven't put any more colour on, so it's going to be paler. It's just moving some of the colour that is actually on the petals already. To bring a little bit in, because I don't want to make it too wet. Okay, so now I can come back in. I might actually need a little bit more ink pad. I do twist them when I put it down because I want to get the pigment and the dye-based ink. That's better. So I do want to get both the colours, like both of the inks coming out. So if you twist it, you will get the pigment and the dye because of it being an oxide ink pad. Okay, just a little bit on here, and then I think we're done. Okay, so put our base card there, and there's my scissors. Oh, I've got a bit of ink where I don't want it. So if this happens, no, don't do it with that bit. Do it with a bit of clean. So if you get a bit of paint where you don't want it, if you go over it with water, making sure that you clean your brush before you go back to it, and then just do it with a clean bit of kitchen roll, you can get it off. And that was lucky because there was a big yellow splodge there. I've got a mark here though, but we might maybe put a butterfly there, or let's actually try my sand eraser. Don't know if it's a mark. I'm not sure it doesn't look a bit greasy. Might have been a mark on the card. Okay, so when we're happy with it, I think I've got it off actually, I'm just going to give this a quick blast because I don't want to cut it out and anything be wet. So just give it a quick blast, and then I'm going to cut away this portion. So I'm going to come in with my scissors. I'm going to leave a little bit of a white border, not too much, and I'm just going to follow the design all the way down to the bottom. Sorry, I can smell my heat tool. And I'll never forget, because a friend of mine, her heat tool was on her desk, and I think it was her dog was wagging his tail, and she hadn't realised, but he'd caught the lead and the heat tool dropped onto the floor and switched itself on and did a lot of damage to her house and all her craft stuff. So you shouldn't really leave your heat tool plugged in even. Okay, so just following this round. Almost there. Like I say, don't want too much of a border. And I do try and keep my scissors still and move my paper. So it's not too much to cut away. And then we can decide if we need to chop anything off of our card, and we will, because I do want to be able to see some of this that I've created. So a good idea is maybe lay it on the front of your card where you would like it to come up to, flip it over and just make a mark on your card. So now we know where we can cut it. So let's just bring my little guillotine in and we will trim that off. Okay, so now I have a piece ready to go onto the front of my card, which I'm very happy with. I think that looks lovely. Okay, so let's bring my stamping press back in and my piece of card, which I hope is big enough, but we will soon find out. And let's find my rectangle. Now, when you take your stamps off, because these are only frames, they are easy to manipulate. That's not going to be big enough. I'm not going to do it on there. Okay, let's have a bigger piece. That's better. So you can manipulate them. So if you wanted, you could make different shapes with them. But what I would recommend is that you pick it up in a corner and then just place it down, let it find itself, its straightness. I don't know what to describe it as. If you think, oh, that's not looking particularly square, just give it a little tweak and it will be absolutely fine. When you put it on here, you have got lines and grids on your stamping platform, so it does make it a bit easier to see if it is straight, and you'll know as soon as you stamp it anyway if it isn't straight. But I found if I held it in a corner and just sort of let it find its own shape, they were absolutely fine. They stamp beautifully. I love that they have got this, the line inside, and the biggest rectangle one actually has, let me just peel it back, you'll be able to see on the plastic here, it's actually got stitched lines. So just wanted to give you something different for the bigger one. But again, when you put them away, always try to line it back up, oops, over the actual markings on your stamp. You need to try and keep it straight. But like I say, they fall into shape beautifully, just with a little wiggle of the corners. Okay, so let's bring this in. Now I'm going to use some, oh, I forgot what this is called, low-tack tape. Couldn't think what it was called. And I'm going to place that right up to the line. And I'm going to do that on the other side as well. And I can see all these questions, all these comments going up and down, but I will go and read them, I promise. Okay, so let's just take this off a minute. I'll pop that away in a sec. So I am going to put this in my stamping press, but I'm going to do it the same as I did before. I'm going to use my little block to do the stamping once I've blended. So I need to cover up all the edges around the outside edge of my postage and just make sure they're nice and firm down. Then I can come back in and I'm going to use Wild Honey again, and I'm just going to ink into the centre to start with. This is why you need to make sure that your tape is down. You don't want it to lift at the corners. So now I've got some nice colour down, and I want my sentiment to go this way, so I'll turn it round so that I'm not going to forget and stamp in the wrong direction or anything like that. So I'm going to bring my postage marks in again, and I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping on the background so it matches the side piece that I've done for my card. So it's going to have nice postage stamp. We'll have the little envelope. Then we'll get parts of the little envelope showing. And I'm doing it in the same colour as I stamped in because I want it to give me a background and to work matching with the panel down the card. But I also, when I then stamp in black over the top with my sentiment, it's going to show beautifully, but it's going to have something just in the background, just a bit of interest. And it will also like match in with the side of my card. So just have a few odd daisies around the edge. There we go. And then I can take those out and pop those back in. And I'm going to use one of the sentiments from my daisy set, I think. We'll have a just to say, and then we could put whatever we wanted inside. So, oh no, not a thank you, sorry, just to say. And then if I want it as a birthday card, I could put a birthday message inside. If I want it as a thinking of you card, I could add that to the inside. So I'm going to shut the press and pick my sentiment up, because I do like to stamp my sentiments properly. Using my VersaFine black, because that's going to go straight over the top and give me a really nice impression on the ink. So that's, oh, it's just come out beautifully. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, thank you, Vanessa. That's lovely. But it is all those things, you know, like that's what I've learned over the years, and it's nice to pass it on and just want you to enjoy it more, so you do more. I also want, I am going to use the heartfelt because I want a butterfly. So I'm going to use my butterfly, and I'm just going to stamp one on the corner here in the black. Actually, I'm going to do a little bit of colouring just with my what's left of my wild honey on there, and then I'm going to stamp over the top. So now I've got a basis, and then if I wanted to, I could just bring in a little bit of extra colour, pick it up from my ink pad, and just bring that little bit of detail colouring into the middle of my butterfly. Okay, so let's take this out of the press. Get rid of the press a minute. So then when we reveal, take our tape off, and I will keep this tape and I can use this, you know, a few more times. Do remember to wipe down the tape so that you pick up any of the wild honey colour. So like you can see that bit there. So if I just take my cloth and wipe away any of the wild honey, then if I use this on another card and it's say pink or blue, the wild honey won't affect it. Don't worry about the black that it's picked up. That'll be absolutely fine. So I'm going to trim my butterfly off, and then I'm going to use my little trimmer, and I'm just going to cut this down. Now, I've been doing it so I can just see the black lines of the postage stamp by the edge of my guillotine. So I know that's going to give me a nice little border on the edge. So wherever you know your guillotine cuts, decide how much of a border you want to show, and then you can trim around the edge. Or like I said, the rectangle dinky dies, you can actually die cut this using one of those and it will fit perfectly, because I did draw it with that in mind. So we've got our butterfly, we've got our sentiment, we've got our card, and we've got our front. So I just need to cut my butterfly. And again, I'm just going to leave a little border, but because I've coloured the background of the card, it means that I'm going to have a nice yellow border now for my butterfly. I'm going to cut right up into his wings because I'm going to curl the butterfly wings up. Just going to follow the shape of it. And then we'll put our card together. So just round the little antennae. It's actually quite a nice one to cut out. It's nice and easy. Okay, let's pick a piece of card. Quite big enough. That's not quite long enough. I don't think it's long enough. That might be long enough. There we go. Right. So I have to say, I really like using cardboard. Let's trim this up first of all. Oh, I'm not sure it's going to fit in. Let's get my proper guillotine. Okay. So let's get rid of that cut line. And let's straighten everything up. Oh, I need to stand up. It will go through it fine. It doesn't mind it at all. Okay, so let's cut this down. So we need it to about there and to about there. Okay, let's cut this one off, and then I can do this one. Did I straighten that edge? I thought it looked like it. If I did, I didn't do a very good job. That's better. So now I've probably lost. Oh no, there's my mark. I can just about see it. There it is, right. It's there. So let's straighten that up. And then, there we go. So the little bits I do get rid of. The other bits I keep. Because they will do for sentiments and all sorts. So, some glue. And I have to thank Jenny for sending me a parcel of cardboard because I was running out. I haven't had any nice cardboard. I need to go and buy myself something from IKEA. Or we did have pizza the other day, but I want nice cardboard. I need to go back to the other shop. We don't have pizzas because it's nice pizza. We have pizza from certain places because it's nice cardboard. Oh dear, that really is taking crafting to the limit, isn't it? Okay, so some glue onto the back of my panel. And then I'm going to line this up on the front of my card. I need to look over the top, make sure I've got it straight. Yeah, firm that down. And then, look at that, perfect. And have a bit of cardboard underneath our sentiment. Yes, Jenny, this is your cardboard. How sad is that I was so excited to get a delivery of cardboard. Okay, so I'm going to put it over the top of where all these leaves are so that I don't lose my flower. Position that where I like it. Make sure my card is straight and my sentiment is on there nice and straight. And then with my butterfly, I'm going to just curl the wings around my pokey tool, and then I bend the body back so I've got a nice flat bit to put the glue on. And now I could either put the butterfly here, or I could have my butterfly up by my flower. Oh, I don't know now. I quite like it up there. I'm going to put it up there. Yes, I'm going to put it there. Could do another one if you wanted to, or you could have a bumblebee down by the just to say. And then it has to have some glitter glue. So I would do the centres of my daisies and down the petal detail. So the lines on the petals, just scribbling, not really taking much time or care, because I don't with glitter glue. And then I am going to add a little bit of glitter glue on the inside of my sentiment. And that is just going to draw your eye then a bit more to your sentiment. And then you've got to have some glitter glue on your butterfly as well. Okay, so let's clear the decks because I've made a right mess. Can't believe how much mess I make. When I watch Tracy and Philippa and everybody else, they're so tidy, and Hazel. and I'm such a mess. Never mind. Hey ho, and I must put my stamp away. Okay, but I hope you've enjoyed that. Just a little bit of inspiration. Looks totally different in the yellow to the pink. Obviously moved our butterfly, but I do like it over there. I think that's rather lovely. Okay, so let me just flip the camera. Okay, bear with me. Thanks, Maxine. So it's been lovely to have your company. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed that card. I hope when you get your goodies, maybe you'll give it a go, and obviously share what you make in Crafty Friends of Julie Hickey Designs. Don't forget, I will be back tomorrow at 10:30 to share all the beautiful inspiration I have over there. It's another great big pile of cards. So yeah, can't wait to do that. And then on Thursday at 2 p.m, Hazel will be live in her group, which is Hazel Eaton demonstrator freelance. Oh, I can't remember. I'll put a link up, but you must be a member of Hazel's group to be able to watch it. And she will be live over there tomorrow at 2, and she's going to be using the collection as well. So thank you ever so much. Enjoy your goodies when you get them, and don't forget to head over to the Pinterest boards as well, so you can see all the different inspiration over there. And I will see you tomorrow at 10:30. Take care and enjoy your evening. Bye bye.